There's a moment, right around 4,000 RPM, where the Yamaha MT-09 stops feeling like a motorcycle and starts feeling like it's trying to escape you. Not violently, not unpredictably, but with a kind of urgency that doesn't wait for permission. You roll the throttle, and instead of building speed, it leaps. Not like an inline 4. Not like a V-twin. Something else entirely. And that something comes down to 3 cylinders. The Yamaha MT-09 isn't the most powerful bike in its class. It's not the most expensive. It's not even the most technologically advanced anymore. But ride one, and within seconds, you understand. This bike doesn't measure performance the usual way. It delivers it differently. Today, we're breaking down exactly why the MT-09 feels so explosive and why its CP3 engine might be one of the most addictive powerplants ever built. When riders say the MT-09 feels explosive, they're not talking about top speed. They're talking about how the power arrives. Most bikes build speed in a straight line, predictable, smooth, almost polite. The MT-09 doesn't do polite. It compresses acceleration into shorter bursts, so instead of a steady push, you get a series of punches. Each twist of the throttle feels amplified, immediate, alive, and that sensation starts deep inside the engine. At the core of the MT-09 is Yamaha's CP3 engine, a 889 cubic centimeters inline triple. But the configuration alone doesn't explain the feeling. The real magic is in the crossplane philosophy. Unlike traditional engines that chase perfectly even firing intervals, Yamaha engineers designed the CP3 to control torque delivery more than smoothness. The result? A firing order that creates uneven pulses, but incredibly usable torque. Instead of chasing peak horsepower numbers, the CP3 focuses on how torque reaches your hand. And more importantly, how quickly it responds. Most engines make you wait. Inline 4s, for example, are famous for their top-end rush, but below that, they're calm, controlled, sometimes even quiet. The MT-09 is the opposite. Its torque arrives early, and it arrives strong. From as low as 3,000 revolutions per minute, the engine is already awake. By 5,000 revolutions per minute, it's fully engaged. And by the time you reach mid-range, it's no longer asking. It's pulling. This is what creates that explosive sensation. Not a sudden spike, but a dense concentration of usable power exactly where you ride most. But torque alone doesn't explain everything, because power is only as good as how it's delivered. And this is where the MT-09 becomes personal. Yamaha's ride-by-wire system, combined with refined throttle mapping, creates a connection that feels almost mechanical. You think about accelerating, and the bike is already moving. There's minimal delay, minimal filtering. It doesn't dilute your input. It translates it. That immediacy is what tricks your brain into perceiving more power than what's actually there. Because the response isn't stretched out. It's condensed. So why does a triple engine feel this way? Because it sits between two worlds. Inline 4s are smooth, high-revving, and linear. V-twins are torquey, punchy, and characterful. The CP3 takes elements of both and blends them into something unique. You get the low-end torque of a twin, the revving ability of a 4, and a firing rhythm that feels alive. That uneven pulse gives the rear tire more feedback, more traction feel, more connection. So when you accelerate, you're not just going faster. You're feeling every moment of it. Now add another layer. The MT-09 is light. Very light for its class. And it carries that weight aggressively forward, with a compact chassis and upright ergonomics. What does that do? It amplifies acceleration. Because when torque meets low weight, the effect multiplies. The front end gets light. The bike surges forward. And suddenly, what should feel quick, feels violent, but controlled. There's a story many MT-09 riders share. It usually starts the same way. First ride. Normal expectations. You pull away gently, shift early, keep things smooth. And then, you open the throttle just a little more than usual. Not aggressively. Not intentionally. Just curious. And that's when it happens. The bike surges forward faster than expected. Your arms tense slightly. Your focus sharpens. And for a brief second, you realize, this bike doesn't behave like the others. It reacts differently. That moment stays with you. Because it's not just speed. It's character. The human brain is wired to respond to immediacy. Fast reactions feel rewarding. Instant feedback feels satisfying. The MT-09 delivers both. Every throttle input gives you a response, right now. No waiting. No delay. And over time, that creates a loop. You twist, it responds, you want more. Not because you need to go faster, but because the interaction itself feels good. That's what makes the MT-09 addictive. Not just performance, but engagement. But this kind of personality isn't perfect. Because what feels exciting can also feel demanding. The same explosive torque that makes the bike thrilling can make it unforgiving if you're careless. Throttle control matters more. Body position matters more. It doesn't hide your mistakes. It reveals them. And that's the trade-off. You gain connection, but you lose some comfort. Over the years, Yamaha refined the MT-09. Early models were raw, sometimes too abrupt. Later versions introduced better throttle mapping, improved suspension, advanced electronics like IMUs and traction control. But they never removed the core identity. Because that explosive character is the point. They didn't want to tame it. They wanted to refine it. In a world where many motorcycles are becoming more refined, more filtered, the MT-09 stands out by doing something different. It prioritizes feeling over perfection. It embraces imperfection in firing pulses, in response, in behavior, because that's what creates character. And in doing so, it reminds you that riding isn't just about numbers. It's about sensation. So why does the MT-09 feel so explosive? It's not just the torque. It's not just the engine. It's the combination of crossplane-inspired triple design, immediate throttle response, strong mid-range delivery, lightweight chassis, and a philosophy that values feel over smoothness. Put all of that together, and you don't just get acceleration. You get reaction. If you've ever ridden an MT-09, you already know this feeling. But I want to hear it from you. What was your first reaction the moment you opened the throttle? Drop it in the comments. And if you're new here, this channel is all about understanding motorcycles beyond the specs. The engineering, the feeling, the why behind the ride. So if that's your kind of content, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.